So in this video, I'm going to start talking about the earliest memories of my life. So I was born the 24th of July to two amazing parents. Best parents anybody could ever ask for. And they've inspired my life in so many ways, including all of the God-given talents I've had throughout my life. And a lot of those were manifested to me through my parents. So I've had an artistic ability for as long as I can remember, and I know for a fact I got that from my mother. I saw her work on many projects at an early age. She used to create Halloween costumes for me and my siblings. She used to hand stitch everything, and for a long time she used to make these like doll figurine things out of wood. And my father used to be the one that would actually cut them out with a jigsaw. And so I don't even know what age I was. It's probably 3, 4, 5, around that time. I know I was really little. He inspired me to want to work with wood, and that ended up reflecting in my life later on, which you'll end up figuring out. But at a very early age, I think it was about maybe 2 or 3 was my first memories of this. My father used to tuck me in for bed, and he'd always sing to me every night, and that left an impression on me forever. It always. And he'd play music around me all the time. He'd always have me and my older brother watch kids songs VHS tapes. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it was like kids singing these things. But I'd always be shy. I wouldn't actually want to sing. And there were like older Disney VHS tapes with like people in them with cartoons at the same time. There's this one tune, Zippity-doo-dah. Some guy with like a bluebird. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna edit in a clip of that right now.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder.
Alright, so yeah, at an early age I was like always curious. It was like, why isn't that guy a cartoon? I would always think real deep into things. Like, then I started wondering at an early age like why people were the way that they were. It was something that stayed with me for a long time. Even throughout the hard times of my life where I needed to think of why I was the way I was, but I didn't for a long time. I just, went with the flow of life. So, back to what I was talking about. My father singing to me every night left an impression on me for a long time, and it ended up being the reason why I wanted to start playing guitar. And I've realized, which I've known my whole life, but I've never came out and spoke it out loud to both my parents. I just recently told them both that they were my heroes, my first heroes of my life. And it was a shock to me realizing I never actually came out and told them these things. And I'm really glad I did. And there's another one that I've never told him. He might have always known, but I've definitely never told him. We've had our differences over the years, but the earliest memories of my life, I always wanted to be just like him. This is my older brother, Sean. I used to want to do everything that he did. Wear the same clothes he wore. If he had a mohawk haircut growing up, I wanted a mohawk haircut. If he had a wiffle, I wanted a wiffle. If he played baseball, I played baseball. Basketball, I did it. Soccer, same thing. Deep down inside me, I always knew I wasn't made for sports. It's hard to explain. I always knew I was here for something else. At real early ages, this is something I never even knew about until my parents told me. Apparently when I was really little, I came up with this invention because I always had a drippy nose and I didn't like blowing my nose for many years. So instead of just carrying around tissues, I guess I took a shoelace, tied it around my waist with a roll of toilet paper on the shoelace and a plastic bag, so I could just wipe my nose and put it in the bag. So me inventing and creating, building things out of random objects, that started at a really early age in my life. And that's something that has always stayed with me. I've always had a dream of building something. And I was never aware of what it was until recently. With why I'm making this blog video, I believe I can build up a community to get people to open up, tell their life stories. And doing that, you're going to be inspiring a lot more people than you could ever imagine. So, those are some early memories of my life. And in this one clip, I'm going to just mention a couple of the other heroes I've had in my life also. Growing up, my family, we were so close. My dad was, or is, 1 out of 6 siblings. And from that came a lot of kids. So I've had many cousins. I can vividly remember all the family parties running around at 3, 4, 5 years old. And besides always wanting to be near my older brother, I always wanted to be near my cousin Matthew. My cousin Matthew, he was a hero of mine when I was real little. I always wanted to be like him too. I don't think I could really tell who I wanted to be like the most. I just kind of let everybody affect me. I took everything in. And I never got to tell Matt either, but I know he knew deep down inside. And then another hero of mine was my grandfather, my papa. Him and my grandmother Mimi, they lived on the first floor of our house for many years. It was originally their house, and my father ended up taking it over. But my grandfather used to tell me so many war stories. He was such a brave person. All the stories he told me, they affected me, and I started collecting G.I. Joes because I guess subconsciously they reminded me of my grandfather. My grandfather's an amazing man. He left behind a beautiful legacy, and I've always wanted that too. I know I'll be a great father someday, and I can't wait. And I've always wanted to be like my dad. That's why I always tried to succeed in all the sports. My dad used to sign up and volunteer either to coach or just co-coach our teams. That's something I've never forgotten. Even though I never succeeded in sports, the fact that my dad was so dedicated to helping build something, it's always stayed with me, and that's something I'll never forget. So I'm going to stop this video. So this will be part 1 of chapter 1, and if anybody likes what they're hearing, which I hope you do, if anybody actually benefits from hearing my blog videos, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm not doing this for any credibility or anything. I'm doing this to just try to inspire young kids, even older people around my age, 27, anybody. Just share some of your life. You never know who this is going to help. And I'm actually doing this video, the same video that I did the intro video, because it's a beautiful day, and talking in that intro video has truly, I can't explain how excited I am sharing these things with you people, with anybody. This is bringing me more peace than anybody can actually understand. So, hey, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, God bless, and love you all.